Ladies and gentlemen, and dear children, good morning. Please be welcome to my theory of music class. Today we are going to study tones and semitones and accidentals. What is a tone? Musical tone. When you play a note on your piano, there is a hammer that strikes the string and the string vibrates. The vibration made by the string is measured in terms of hertz. And it's a sine wave. Hertz, it's a sine wave. It has been decided that the note A above the middle C to be tuned at 440 Hertz on the international level. In every country in the world, the note A above the middle C will make 440 vibrations. If your piano is tuned 439 or 441, it will still sound like an A, but it is not at the heart of the note. 440 is called the fundamental frequency. The higher the frequency, the higher is the pitch. When you go to B, it will be 480. To B flat, it will be 460. To C, it will be 500. So the higher the frequency, the higher is the pitch. And the lower the frequency, the lower is the pitch. Now this is the science behind tones, the number of frequency. You have to know it. Now when we talk about the piano, what is a tone and what is a semitone? I have here my piano. This note is a C. D, E, F, and so on. Now when you play the C, there's a distance between the C and the D. This will vibrate at a frequency, this will vibrate at another frequency. So when you play the C, now in musical terms, when you play the C and when you play the D, there is a note in between which is the black key. The shortest distance is from the white to the black, and from the black to the white, again from the white to the black, from the black to the white, from the white to the white. There is no black key here. And when you play C, the distance from C and the black key is one semitone. In music we call it one semitone, half tone. And from the black key to the white key, D, it is another half tone. And from C to D, it's one tone. So, now tones can be understood as the distance between notes. The pitch changes from C to D and the distance to changes. From D to this black is half, from this black to E is half, again from D to E is one tone. From D to E is one tone. We have two semitones. But from E to F is one semitone, because between E and F we don't have another key. The shorter distance. So to recapitulate, the shortest distance between two notes is a semitone. the shortest distance. Now let's come to the accidentals. When you are writing a piece of music, suppose you have to play this note, the F. Suppose you have to play the F. You have written your music and you want a player to play the F. Now you want to put some color in your music. You don't want the player to play this F, you want the player to play the black key as per your arrangement. This black key. There is no place on the staff to write this note. There is a line here to write this note. So to voice your intention to play this, there is a sign to be placed here. This is what we call an accidental. We call it an accidental, and this note is written like this. We call it a sharp. So, when you place this sign in front of this note, the player knows that he will not strike the white key, he has to strike this black key, this one semitone. So a sharp raises a note by a semitone. Remember this, a sharp raises a note by a semitone. And you proceed with your arrangement, and you have another F in your music. You go on and you have another F. You leave it like this, the player knows that you have voiced your intention to sharpen it. He will play this as F sharp, even if you don't put this accidental. Once you put an accidental in front of a note, it affects the same note throughout the music piece. Everywhere the player will play F sharp. And now you don't want the player to play F sharp. You want the player to play the normal F, that is the white key. You have to neutralize this. You will have to neutralize this F sharp by this sign, which we call the natural. The natural sign. Now the player will play this as F, and everywhere he will play it as F. You have neutralized the sharp. We call it natural. And you are playing in C, which you will learn later. You want to modulate in F, and you play a B. You write a B, the note B. The player will play this note. The player will play this note. But when you modulate, you want the player to play the black note here. Once again, you have to voice your intention to tell the player that he has to play this note. You put another sign here, another accidental, a letter B, a bit pointed down, which we call a flat. And this is B flat. When it flattens, it brings down the pitch by a semitone. When you sharpen, you raise the pitch by a semitone. When you flatten, you bring it down by a semitone. If you leave it like this, the player will play all the B as flats. If you want the player not to play the other B as flat. There is another B around there somewhere. Then again you have to neutralize the B with this sign, with this natural sign. This is all for today. You have learned about tones and semitones. These sharp, natural and flat, they are called accidentals. Sharp raises a note by a semitone. Natural, it brings the note to the normal pitch, and flat, it brings down the note by a semitone. Hope that this helped. I see you in my next lesson. Have a nice time. Goodbye.